So Manish, why would you introduce yourself to us, and what is your work with regards to mindfulness, meditation and neuroscience that you've been doing for more than, I think, 20 plus years?
Yes, so hi, my name is Manish Bell, and I'm into mindfulness from a very early part of my life. But after working in a corporate world, I realized that the need of mindfulness is more to the leaders and almost to everyone. It's not meant for sages who are sitting in on Himalaya and doing some kind of meditation. It's actually required for every individual who is going through anything in his life, be it challenge, be it work, be it studies, be it job, just be there. It's an essential part for our existence, our peace of mind, and our happiness.
How did you then got into the neuroscience? Because you run Mindful Science Center in India, the biggest mindful conferences, international exhibitions, and much more. You were the first ones to do this in India, to be able to tell the Indian audience about mindfulness and meditation from a very modern point of view. So how did you got into the neuroscience of it, the brain activity, neuroplasticity, rewiring your brain, and so on?
So, at a very early stages, when I was working with the organization, I was finding way how can I channelize brains. Okay, brain is the center for information. I would not say it's origination for all the energies, but it's a center for processing data. That how different people process data, similar data in different manner. So one role was an emotion, and okay, one role was a role of a definitely brain. What kind of synaptic connections are we building? What kind of synaptic connections are we losing? Why do we lose certain connections? Why these neurons which are fired in my early ages are so many, and as and when I age, they reduces. And that's intrigued me to work with various neuroscientists world over. And then the role which I was working on mindfulness or meditation, how do that channelize through neuroscience? So before even it was my quest, but there are many other people who are also working on the same quest. There are a lot of neuroscientists, there are researchers, there was Shambhala project which is UC Davis was doing. There are many projects worldwide going, and I got involved in many of such projects to see the brain function, what kind of neurons are we doing, what kind of chemicals are we producing in our body, how much of cortisol is getting, not only the brain we talk about, but complete physiology. Neurons are not only fired in the brain, but also in the heart.
Correct.
So what changes in our physiology, how our body changes, and what impact mindfulness or meditation or various those exercises do to us. And then I started structuring those information, and then I started using that for channelizing and using it in corporate setting for leaders, for teachers, for students, for athletes, for even for the armed forces, for combat soldiers, for all those, and we started using this and saw wonderful results of them.
That is really amazing. And now recently you partnered with Nufni, India's first wearable EEG device. How do you see that adding into your work, playing a role of a monitor and a tracker, and how do you see that can help practitioners and promoters of mindfulness, such as yourself, to actually bring data into the industry?
So it's very important that everything. I have an analytical brain, and also most of the people who are into corporate setting, they would like to see what is my ROI.
Yes.
Okay. What am I investing and what is I'm getting out of it? What's my ROI? Now, when somebody invests his time, time is eventually a money.
Correct.
Now, if I'm investing my time in mindfulness, what is my return end of the day? Now, can I capture the changes? What kind of exercises, what kind of activities are promoting healthy change in human brain? Each and every brain act very differently. No two EEG can be same. How much it could be. Even two brothers have very different behavioral thought process, because how much an influence you have from the environment, there's certain influence you have an inner environment comes from, which is sometimes it's acquired or sometimes it's innate, sometimes it's genetic.
Correct.
Okay. So if you can capture the data and and impose the data and the behavior of people. We can relate a certain kind of activity, especially in exercises,
Exactly.
makes different impact on different kind of people. So this is, I think, Newphony has doing a great work, and I've been working. I'm looking for something like this for a very long time. I work with almost all the top companies, starting from various different companies, and because end of the day they move on to somebody moved on brain-computer interface or AI, because the alone the mindfulness doesn't interest you. But I think Newphony was investing time and money in getting the data. So my aim is to gather as much as information and see how can we collect that information and use it for the betterment of doing better programs, better exercises, and change better syllabus for the people.
Thank you so much, Manish, for sharing this. I'm very proud and excited to actually question GR. He's our advisors. It was his and my brainchild, which was Brain Gym. 2.5 years back, I think, almost roughly, when I met him, and I'm very happy to actually question him because he's visiting our first brain gym here in Mumbai, in Bandra. And GR, I would like to get your opinion on the industry of wellness, because you come from there. You've stayed in this industry for I don't know how many, 20 plus years.
Yes.
Of wellness and fitness, where you brought personalized fitness into India. So please shed us some light on brain gyms, personalized fitness, and more.
Ria, it's a pleasure indeed. First and foremost, I must be saying this, that I'm so happy to be mentoring Ria, the co-founder of Newphony, along with Bhavya. And having been a mentor, what I've seen as a very interesting part is I've seen the way Newphony has been growing. If you were to ask me whether what we conceptualized maybe 2 years ago has materialized into action, my heart fills with pride when I see what has been done, Ria, at the ground level. Because for me, Brain Gym was a need of the hour. When I think about fitness, the first thing that came to my mind is fitness can never be customized, it has to be personalized. And I felt a similar feeling when I started interacting with you 4 years ago. And maybe, if my memory serves me right, you were in Germany at that time, before you shifted to India. And when we were coining the word of what would be a right name, for me, it so much resonated when I thought that Brain Gym would be the right one, because you've had the personal gyms, you've had the gyms which were giving personalized training, but I think that was for the body. I think the brain is different from the body. It sends you signals. You needed a different mindset, a different approach, and a different orientation. And here my good friend Manish is here. We have been working out of the gym for a long time. And when I look at what is being done on the mindfulness side and the meditation side, I think Newphony becomes a glove fit to what Manish is doing and spreading the word. He has been a pioneer in that direction. And I think, Ria, if we are looking at brain gyms, my only wish is that each city may need to have more than 1,000 gyms, because that's the need of the hour. A short while ago, I was talking to some youngsters, and what they were saying is, we are not understanding what do we do after working hard. And if our mind has to be getting into some productive side, we think it's not going to be the in thing. Today, I think people are slowly realizing that yoga was exported from India abroad and has been re-brought into India as yoga, something which is good for the human body. I think possibly if all of us can work together, Newphony is in the right direction to ensure that the brain mapping and the data analytics that is done and the mindfulness quotient that we are bringing into the system is going to be something which will help the youth of today to be the leaders of tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you so much, GR. Manish, is there anything that you want to conclude and say to the audience of Mumbai and Bandra to be able to come and visit and experience this amazing mindful center of yours?
So I would like to say that, like what GR said, and while I was also talking to the youngsters, that it's a very powerful science, and do not underestimate the power of mindfulness. An amount of value you will gain by spending small time, it will change your whole life. It will change your whole perspective. It will change the way you look at the world. It will change the way you look at your own self. It will change your relationship, the way you work, way you think, your creativity. It will change the way you've been seeing the world till date. So do not underestimate. Try mindfulness. And try come and you can visit my Mindful Science Center or Mindfulness India Summit and also have a glimpse of what is changing in world over. With Newphony, you can also see how your brain is changing with those things or what activities or mindfulness exercises or meditation. So give it a try, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
Manish, I'm going to add one thing. Don't give it a try. I'm going to say brain gyms are here to stay. Come, join, and see what is the difference that comes into you. The team is waiting for you. Why wait for it? Go for it.